Russian Z channels already feel the heat of Atacms deep inside Russian territory and are calling for a response. Atacms are a different level, a raise of the stakes. Our response must be commensurate with the threat, up to and including the use of tactical nuclear weapons. Notes from a veteran. For those who carry all sorts of nonsense in my feedback and do not understand what is the difference between using long-range NATO missiles deep into the territory of Russia and the use of other weapons, such as HIMARS. The difference is in the classification. The same HIMARS with its standard ammunition does not belong to operational and tactical weapons. It is capable of hitting targets at a tactical distance, that is, in the front line and frontline zones. Everything changes if the M142 HIMARS installation is charged with ATACMS ballistic missiles. In this version, it becomes OTRK, operationally a tactical missile system, which is capable of striking deep in the rear. And this is not just the shelling of a border village in Belgorod region. This radically changes the whole situation in the conduct of hostilities. This immediately means that strategic facilities will be under threat, such as nuclear power plants, metallurgical enterprises, and other important facilities that have a great impact on both the Russian economy and the country's military-industrial complex. Do you feel the difference? Strikes deep into the territory of Russia quickly. With tactical complexes, this is the transition of war to a completely new level. This is a serious rate hike. Our response must be commensurate with the threats, up to the use of tactical nuclear weapons. They're seriously freaking out about the permission to strike with Atacms. They're even being paranoid over some breakthrough on a section of the front, on permission for strikes deep into Russia. This all looks very interesting. Such synchronized decision-making is no coincidence. The Ukrainian military has been stockpiling armored vehicles in rear areas for months and sacrificing infantry without support, using sabotage groups and carrying out diversionary activities. There were almost no Atacms or Storm Shadow strikes on old territories. There were a few drone attacks, but they were minimal compared to previous periods. This suggests that the Ukrainian forces have been accumulating resources for a specific purpose. Given the permission for long-range strikes and the buildup of resources, Ukrainian formations are likely preparing for a breakthrough at some point on the front. We wait and prepare. Widespread looting of Russian civilian homes and businesses by Russian troops in the Kursk region is being directed by Russian officers for their personal profit, according to a Russian Marine who has fought in the area. A large part of the Kursk region, beyond that occupied by Ukrainian forces, has been evacuated by Russia to make it into a closed military zone. However, residents have reported many instances of their properties being ransacked by their defenders. A Russian contract soldier who has been fighting in the Kursk region with the 155th Marine Brigade has been speaking with the independent Russian outlet The Insider. He was sent there after being wounded in a meat assault, which left only 7 survivors out of 100 men. The soldier was sent to Glushkovo, a village which is outside the zone held by Ukraine, but has nonetheless been looted thoroughly by the defending Russian forces and damaged by exchanges of fire. There was no one there anymore. The locals had evacuated, the area was destroyed. In Glushkovo, where the locals evacuated and left everything as it was, looting began. We broke into apartments, robbed pharmacies, broke windows in supermarkets, behaved like barbarians. In the forested areas, you can find supermarket carts, food packaging, candy wrappers. Now all the forests there are littered with garbage. The commanders forced us to do this, but they presented it in such a way that we ourselves needed it, and that we were breaking into apartments and robbing stores of our own free will. For example, you had to break into an apartment to find slippers or blankets there to make your own beds. And then it turned out that you had to take out a bed for the commander or a nightstand. We took out the equipment that was needed, somewhere a laptop, elsewhere a TV. When the apartment was being broken into, the commander would come and see what was in it. There was a bed. He would say, "I want one of these." "Come on, bring these 2 down to me." We would bring them. And the next day, the commander would sit me down with him, the deputy would be next to him, and the commander would ask, "Why are you going around begging?" And what can I say? It was he who gave the order to break into the apartment, and the bed was brought out for him, right? And then, it turns out, we go around begging. What can I say to that? Everything was taken out for immediate use. What happened next? I don't know. We used it, threw it away. We went and opened a new house and took a new one. If the carpet got dirty, there was no way to wash it. We threw it away, took another one. Satellite dishes were removed, and we adjusted them so that the commander could watch TV. The stores were smashed to smithereens. The grocery store was completely looted in the first week. There was nothing left at all. The soldier's account is consistent with the many complaints from local people about their properties being systematically looted. It's also reminiscent of the mass looting that Russian forces engaged in at the start of the full-scale invasion in 2022. Back then, there were signs that the looting was harming Russian military effectiveness. Soldiers were spending time looting rather than fighting, and officers commandeered logistics trucks to transport their loot. It's likely that something similar has happened in Kursk. Soldiers of the 425th Assault Battalion Skala showed footage of their work against Russian forces and equipment in the area of Novokhodivka, Pokrovsk direction. FPV or first-person view drones are highly dangerous for light infantry, as they provide operators with real-time visual feedback, enabling precise targeting and rapid reaction to movements on the ground. These drones can be used for reconnaissance, tracking infantry movements, and delivering small explosive payloads directly onto troops or into defensive positions. Their maneuverability and ability to fly at low altitudes make them difficult to detect and intercept with conventional countermeasures. During the massive airstrike, the Russians again targeted the Kremenchuk hydroelectric power station on the Dnieper. The last time it was attacked was in October 2022. It's worth noting that destroying it without a major explosion is very difficult, but the consequences could be catastrophic, potentially threatening flooding in the city of Kremenchuk. The Russians were likely primarily aiming to damage the energy generation system rather than destroy the dam to flood the area, but in any case, both reasons are signs of genocide.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.